Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Multiverse Fancast. Don't forget, if you guys are listening to us on the go, you can find us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, basically anywhere you get your podcast. You can also find more of our content on our website, themisfitfaction.com. There you find links to not only this show, but some of our other shows like Cinematic Adventures and MF Uncensored. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Paul. With me via the Zoom studio is Ronnie. Ronnie, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm sorry, what was that? There's a bit of a echo.
Echo,
Echo.
echo.
Oh, it's going to be a weird episode. I'm good. Thank you for asking. And for those of you guys who haven't figured it out by our incredible advanced sense of humor right there, we are talking today about Marvel's latest miniseries, because that's what it was, Echo. All right. So it just ended about time of recording about a week ago. Like, not
Yeah,
too, yeah. Well, I think actually, scratch that. They released all the episodes at once.
they did. Yeah. So
Eh,
that's actually, so then what was that? That would have been the
January,
9th of
yeah,
January.
January
Wow.
9th. So it's been out for a little less than 20 days at the time of recording. So we did finish it. We wanted to give everybody a little bit of a chance to get caught up on it. And also we've had other projects that we've been working on. Weird. So weird. Check out our YouTube channel, like, comment,
Scare
subscribe.
us.
I know, right? Go to our YouTube channel, like, comment, subscribe. But anyway, so we finally sat down. It's a very short show. It is only 5 episodes. I want to say it's the shortest Marvel show that we've had thus far.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you can't really count. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. The werewolf.
Well, that was like a TV movie.
Yeah.
And it's also the first Marvel Spotlight that they've ever done. And the Marvel Spotlight banners for select series that focus on more grounded, character-driven stories and are less about impacting the larger MCU universe. So Echo, like we said, was the first one. And I don't know if they've announced any other ones, but as of right now, Marvel Spotlight is what Echo's under, but it's still the MCU, obviously.
Yeah.
But let's go back in time. But first, we do have only one tiny bit of news. The Marvels is finally going to be released on Disney Plus, so we're finally going to do an episode on the Marvels that we still never saw in theaters. Next up is going to be Aquaman when it comes on to HBO Max.
Yeah.
Oh God, we suck. We're the worst. I do want to go see Madam Web because it looks so bad.
Yeah. That's going to be one of those where I like it because of how bad it is.
Well, let's
Like
talk about
Napoleon Dynamite.
like the Dynamite. So Madam Web is coming out next month. Like it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
It's weird because we only had like the one trailer for it and then a couple of TV spots, but otherwise pretty
We'll probably get
quiet on
something
it.
for Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl is gonna have quite a fair amount, I think. I know the rumor is Deadpool 3 is gonna have its trailer during that. That just ended filming too, so obviously we're definitely gonna get some footage in the near future. It's funny because it just finished filming, but like we still only got that one set of leaks
Yeah.
of like the big fight scene with, in the desert and stuff like that. But yeah, like we haven't heard anything otherwise. So I know what else we got? We got Madam Web, we got Craven, and we
Yeah.
got, I think, Venom. All three Sony
Venom.
versus Marvel movies are coming out this year, which is wild. Big
And
rumor though.
none of them looks like you really want to see it.
Well, obviously we don't know anything about Venom 3 right now.
No,
Yeah, I don't
that's
even
the one I'm looking forward to the most, just because of the character Venom.
Yeah, and also we want to see if they're going to do anything with, you know, him leaving a piece of the symbiote in Spider-Man's world. So big rumor was Madam Web was supposed to have an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man appearance.
Huh?
That was the rumor. And then they said that that was squashed, and then they were saying it was going to be Tom Holland. Those are both prevalent rumors, nothing confirmed yet. I don't even know, when does Madam Web come out? It's got to be soon.
I think it's right after Valentine's Day.
Oh, how romantic.
Yeah, right.
I know, right? Let's see. It is coming out. It's coming out on Valentine's Day.
Oh, is it on that? Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
There you go. Valentine's Day to go watch Madam Web.
Oh God, yeah, it's gonna be rough. That's another character that like never really cared that much about. But for those of you guys who don't know, Dakota Johnson starring as Cassandra Cassie Webb or Madam Webb. Sydney Sweeney is gonna be one of the spider. They have three Spider Women in it. The costumes look great though. Like I will say, Sydney Sweeney's costume especially. She plays Julie Cornwall. We have Celeste O'Connor as Maddie Franklin and Isabella Mercad as Anya Corazon. And then we also have, I want to say, what's his face? Adam Scott's in the movie, supposedly as Uncle Ben. Like it's like a younger version of him, which would
Yeah,
be stupid. Anywho, we'll talk about Madam Web at some point. I definitely want to see it because
yeah,
if there is a connection to whatever Spider-Verse they want to do, like, and if it is Andrew Garfield, I'd be totally down.
yeah. I mean, the only challenge is if you connect it to Andrew Garfield, say for whatever reason, Sony's like, we're done with this Marvel stuff. Here, Marvel, have it back. And say like Dakota Johnson's like Madam Web is fantastic. Then
Imagine.
what do you do? Like now you can't even have her back.
Well, you could. It's still Spider-Verse. Like,
Yeah,
and they've established their multiverse in Marvel. They've established that, the Venom verse is happening in one and whatever. I'm just
yeah.
glad we're not getting any more. I swear to God, if Morbius cameos in this movie, I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna literally get up and leave.
See, I wouldn't because I paid all that money to go see it.
All $14? No.
Yeah.
I'll give them another $14 to let me leave. Get out of here. You leave. All right. Now that I'm annoyed, thanks a lot. We're going to talk about Marvel's Echo. Now, again, the whole series is out. It's been about a month. Full spoilers. We are going to go all the way through this, and we're going to be, I don't want to say harsh, but we're going to be very critical because let's get initial thoughts. Roddy, what are your initial thoughts on Echo?
So it's tough. There were a lot of things that I did love about the show. Like a lot of the fight sequences were great, almost like Daredevil meets Hawkeye kind of stuff. Wish there was more though with it. Echo is a unique character. I think it was portrayed in a very interesting way with her background.
Mhm.
But I don't know, like for some reason, I thought there was going to be a lot more butting heads between her and Kingpin.
Yeah.
And there was like in 5 episodes, I know you had Kingpin in most of it, but a lot of it was just flashbacks, and then until like the last like two, and then even then, he did nothing. I was expecting him to like fight people like we've seen him do.
Right.
Uh, but I mean, it was middle of the road.
Middle of the road. Yeah. I dug it, especially when it started. I actually really liked the whole scene, and obviously the scene with Daredevil is fantastic. It's a
Yeah,
great the fight scenes are really good in this show for the most part. I agree. I would have liked to see Kingpin kind of throw hands a little bit more.
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like they don't know what to do with Kingpin right now because he eats up every scene that he's in. Like he's fantastic. It's Vincent D'Onofrio. He's really good. But I don't know. He was like, please be my friend again. Like
yeah,
I would have preferred if he actually did come in and he was like, I'm gonna ruin your life. You shot me in the face.
yeah,
Yeah. But like he was kind of sad. And
yeah,
I don't know, it was a little off-putting. But for the most part, yeah, the show, like you said, middle of the road, it's not their best and most amazing project, but it's still pretty good.
yeah,
And obviously it's the first MCU technically mature rated show
yeah,
because there was a lot of discussion about the continuity and what was happening with the other shows and the Netflix. They have now officially determined that not only is the new Daredevil reboot is going to be part of the MCU, it's still going to be all that stuff's going to be continuity.
yeah,
Punisher, Iron Fist, all that stuff's going to be technically Marvel continuity, which is good because it's funny. We were watching, like I said, producer Melanie just started watching Daredevil.
yeah,
So we're watching the first episode and they talk about the Battle of New York. They talk
yeah,
I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. They did make a few references to the bigger MCU." So it was interesting and I liked it. But so also fun fact, I totally forgot this news. They have announced that not only are Foggy and Karen coming back for Daredevil, but
mhm.
Bullseye's coming back.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, did not know that.
Yeah, they just announced it this week. So this was also a very good warm up to see what they were going to do with Daredevil. I miss that suit. I really do. Like the red and yellow was fun for She-Hulk, which there's all this talk about whether or not it's going to get another season. Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. Let no, no.
No,
No. We're
no,
good.
yeah. But this was like you said, this was a good test because how can Marvel do mature.
Right.
We haven't really seen it. We saw it with Logan.
Hmm.
We'll see it with Deadpool, obviously. And then we just had it with Echo. That's really only been it for the most part.
With the exception of the Netflix shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was not technically at the time MCU, but now it is. We come to find out. So I'm curious as to how, because now this is Disney putting the show out, not Netflix.
Right. So it's going to be interesting in the next couple of years to see they want to do more of these Marvel spotlights. I actually enjoy the idea of a shorter miniseries type event that's very contained. I think really my biggest issue with the containment of it was like, all right, Maya's going to take over Kingpin's empire from Oklahoma. Wait, hold on. And then
Yeah.
he offers it to her. Like he's like,
Yeah.
you can have it. And she's like, no, I'm going to do it on my own terms. And he's like, wait, no, no, he was giving it to you. Like,
Yeah.
save the bloodshed. But
Take the money and run.
take the money and run, man. So it's an interesting show. I think it benefited from a shorter season, but also could have done a little bit more. I did really enjoy they did more flashbacks to Ronin and the Hawkeye stuff because
Yeah.
Hawkeye is probably my favorite of the Disney Plus shows.
Really.
I loved Hawkeye. It was way better than it
Yeah.
deserved to be.
I'm not. I didn't mean it as in the fact that I didn't like Hawkeye, because I did.
Yeah.
I thought for sure it would have been Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I really do like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If you put them next to each other, it'd be a really tough discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, but there's something about just Hawkeye. Like they finally
Mhm.
gave Clint Barton his due, and
Yeah.
he got his suit at the end, and it was just really cool. We haven't seen anything though about Sam Wilson since. Apparently, he's going to be Captain America. Sam Wilson's going to be in What If season 3, but like I don't know if it's a combination of the pandemic and then the writer's strike and all these things. But like, I don't even know when his Captain America movie's coming out at this point.
I think originally wasn't it slated for next year.
I think so, but
I think it was supposed to be June of next year, but like you said, because of the writer's strike and the actors and basically all of Hollywood,
hmm,
uh, it probably is going to get pushed back a year,
uh,
because
uh,
that's a summer blockbuster.
no, dude, it's coming out February 14th, 2025. So almost exactly a
Really?
year. Yeah, really.
Huh. I feel like we haven't heard anything about it, so I'm just kind of surprised that in a year they're going to be able to get all the shooting done and the editing and promotion.
Yeah, interesting.
Huh.
Interesting indeed. So let's go back to Echo though, because we're all over today. We are.
Tangent.
God, we're so bad. All right, so we'll go through the cast first. Obviously, we have Alakwa Cox. I don't know if that's how you say her first name, but I'm doing my best as Maya Lopez. She's reprising her role as the character of Echo from Hawkeye, and she was the former leader of the Tracksuit Mafia. I missed when you do like the flashbacks. I was like, oh my God, the Mafia guys, the Tracksuit Mafia. Look at that. Which I don't remember why, but I really liked. I was like, oh. So yeah, she's of Native American descent, and we learn a little bit about her in Hawkeye, but she's deaf and she also she has a prosthetic leg, but
Mhm.
she is it's so much fun watching her fight.
Oh yeah.
Like just watching her like throw down. And I
Yep.
think she's doing like she did really well in the show.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's easy to say she's like a standout because she's the main character she's supposed to be, but sometimes I feel like with some of the TV shows, like the main character kind of takes a back seat in a way so they can bump up other characters. But I mean, she held her own. It was great seeing her. And like you said, and at the beginning of our show was her fight scenes were unbelievable.
And that's a real prosthetic leg. She's an amputee.
Yeah.
She's not disclosed how that happened, like ever. So
Hmm.
she's only been in Hawkeye and Echo. Those are her only acting credits.
Yeah.
And she's really good. Like I think she's gonna have a very good future. And I would like to see more of her. It'd be really fun to see her in Daredevil as like a client of Matt Murdock's or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted for She-Hulk though. We wanted like She-Hulk to have like we wanted that to actually be like a Law and Order type show.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to see things. The scene with her and Matt Murdock going against each other in court was awesome.
Oh yeah.
but then like they went too far into the goofy, unfortunately, with that. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, all right, let's see. Going down the list, we some of these names are going to be really hard because they all the cast for the most part are of Native American descent, so they have Native American names. I'm going to do my very best. I'm trying not to offend anyone. All right, we got Chase Spencer as Henry Blackcrow Lopez, and that's Maya's uncle.
Mhm.
He owns the roller rink, which is
Yeah,
hilarious. But then again, I was like, that's a small rural town in Oklahoma. Of course, they have a roller rink.
yeah, right.
Let's see, Tantu Cardinal as Chula, who's Maya's estranged grandmother. Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock slash Daredevil. Now, I will be very blunt and say I am so annoyed that they promoted so much that he was going to be in this for one scene.
Yeah, I I like you said, I definitely thought we would have seen him a few times. Not obviously the whole thing because you don't want to rely on him and and his name to promote a almost like a C level character
Right.
in the Marvel scheme. But like you said, I would have loved to have seen in the beginning. Cool, introduce him, like tease him, and then it would have been nice to see him kind of come back, towards the end. But then again, they're not in New York at all.
It wouldn't have
Other,
made sense, yeah.
so I guess that's where the challenge relies on.
So apparently, originally he was going to be looking for a former ally. Like he was going to have like a little story beat where he was looking for someone. The rumor was that it was going to be Jessica Jones,
Yeah,
but obviously, I did just like that he was just staking out that warehouse and he was going to beat the crap. And the fight scene with him and Maya, like, yes, she gets in some licks and she does well, but there are a few moments of this in that fight where you knew he was holding back.
yeah,
There's a great shot of him like hitting her and then just kind of turning his back on her, like not even
yeah,
worth it. And it was a great scene. And again, I miss that suit. It's definitely it's funny because like in the original previews, it almost looked like he was wearing a black Daredevil suit, like
yeah,
full black. But I think that was just the lighting. Because Daredevil's had a lot of different color schemes. He's,
mhm,
obviously red is his most popular or most well known, but the red and yellow was comic accurate. That's why they did it. And it worked for She-Hulk.
yeah.
But he's had a black Daredevil suit too with red eyes at one point. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do in the actual show and who they're going to bring back. That was another thing. This was a great opportunity. They could have brought back a lot of characters. I actually kind of missed Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and even Iron Fist, even though I still haven't finished Iron Fist.
you know, it would have been, but it would have been tough to do because of the premise of it taking place in Oklahoma
Right.
for 98% of the series or season, I should say, because it's not a series yet. Who knows? But that's the tough part. I'm sure if we get a second season, which I'm not sure if they
I don't
announced.
know. Nothing because this is only a spotlight miniseries.
Yeah.
But you know
So,
what I would actually really like? I would like if they did like call it like Marvel Street Crimes, and
mhm,
every episode was like a different street level hero, and almost like a little anthology type thing.
yeah,
Like one episode, and like obviously they could cross over because New York, as big as New York is, it ain't that big.
no.
But
And
like,
it'd be cool to see Echo teaming up with Punisher.
oh God, that'd be a lot of
They
fun.
they have like very similar like mindset of the world, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Anything they end up doing with Punisher is going to be a lot of fun. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I could see her um having Echo in the Daredevil at some point because this show also does set up what Kingpin's going to do. So we have Vincent D'Onofrio's coming back as Kingpin. He survived getting shot in the eye, and it's fun seeing him with some actual MCU technology
Yeah,
because Daredevil and all that stuff was very grounded, exceptionally grounded. Like the most advanced thing in the Daredevil series was his suit,
yeah,
and even that was just like a costume.
yeah,
Having him first, he has like the healing eye patch. So, and I like how it's not just oh he's healed; it's a progressive. Like he's got to constantly be using it. And I actually kind of like the sign language contact lens that he
yeah.
got.
That was cool.
Like we thought he was gonna like beat the crap out of her. And he's like, nope, just put this in your eye.
Yeah,
You can hear what I'm saying. When I was a boy.
yeah. And the one thing with the only kind of Kingpin move we saw
Mhm.
was where they're at like his condo or his apartment, wherever it is, right in New York, and he's like, "Oh, I don't need the sign language interpreter anymore."
Yo, that was cold.
And she's like, "You're dismissed." And then she's just walking. The next thing you know, his dude's like, "Kill her, like shoot her dead right there in the
Oh,
hallway."
they're putting the tarps down. I was like, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna walk into a room where they're putting tarps down. Get out of here.
yeah, right.
They're putting
I was like,
plastic.
I was like, I was like, that's the only like actual Kingpin move we saw,
Well,
other than
I liked when he beat up the ice cream guy.
yeah, I was said that too.
Yeah,
But I
like that
would
was
love to see more like instead of in a flashback, show it more modern day stuff. But
yeah, but so it looks like he's gonna be teed up to run for mayor, which I think happened in the comics a few times. I know Norman
mhm,
Osborn was mayor at one point, Kingpin was mayor. Like you got a lot of characters that have been mayor of New York.
yeah,
Oliver Queen was mayor of Star City for a minute.
yeah,
Yeah, but I would be curious if that's going to be the premise, like for Daredevil, that Kingpin becomes mayor, and it would be an interesting kind of thing because the last time we saw Daredevil and Kingpin was the fight against Bullseye, and like he knows who Daredevil is,
yeah.
so it's going to be very interesting that time. I love that scene where he beats him and
Oh yeah.
he's like yelling at him that he beat him. Such a good scene. I really hope producer Melanie wants to rewatch the whole show because it's so good. Anyway, let's go back to the cast list. We are terrible. We're all over today.
Right.
Let's see. Davery Jones as Bonnie, who is in it, and they made it
Yeah.
seem like she was good. She actually voiced Kahori in the second season of
Yeah.
Marvel's What If. That's really funny, actually.
Yeah.
I thought in that opening scene when you see the Native American people, I thought that was actually some sort of callback to the What If stuff.
Yeah. I did too.
Yeah, no, it turns out that that was not it.
No.
Let's see. Zach McLaren as William Lopez, Maya's father. Cody Lightning as my favorite character. Cody Lightning, stop. What a cool name.
You
And
deserve to be called biscuits.
has biscuits. And he's like the well-meaning cousin and like kind of the comedic sidekick to Maya in this. And I love the scene with the train where he goes to save her. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And then he straight up just murders a bunch of people with the monster truck.
Yeah.
But they made it funny, so it's okay.
Yeah, right. Oh, he came out of left field and just stole the show.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was really it was just him and Maya. Everyone else, I did like the uncle as well,
Mhm.
but that was kind of it. Was really just those three that were the show.
I like the uncle because he was kind of randy, like him
Yeah,
with the grandmother. Like, I guess they had a relationship,
yeah,
and before Maya's mother dies, and afterwards, like obviously that's not a thing anymore. But they still like flirt, and they're still like, hey, I love
yeah,
it. I thought it was very funny. And then the last of the main cast we have, oh no, we mentioned the, let's see, we have some other characters, very like 5-second characters, a couple of, let's see, got a couple of cameos from, Clint Barton, obviously. He pops up in some archive footage. See, that's another thing. This was a perfect time to show how brutal Ronan could have been. Because, yes, he was a killing vigilante, like very similar to Punisher and stuff like that. But yeah, we never got to really see the full Ronan, and I would have loved it.
yeah,
But so, like we said, the show's only 5 episodes long, and basically the first episode is backstory. It is just all backstory, and it's literally just how we got to where we are. The story itself doesn't really start till the second one, and
mhm,
again, there's still some there's a lot of flashbacks in the show,
yeah,
lot, and I also have to say I'm very glad that this entire town in Oklahoma knows basic sign language.
yeah. Well, it seems like it's a small town, and it is seems like it's almost like a tribal land.
Right,
Like I feel like it's only what was it, the Choctaws or something like that.
like that, yeah.
And I'm assuming because of that they're all close to each other. So because of Maya, I'm assuming that's why they all kind of know sign language because it's all like family and you're my cousin even though we have no relation. But in this sense, I think with you know your your tribal lands, they're all related. So
Yeah. I also found it very interesting that this small town has a paid EMT paramedic situation.
yeah,
That's what Bonnie does. She's a
yeah,
paramedic. I also one of the strangest things in this entire show is when they're captured, not only does like the girlfriend they had like the two, I don't want to say rednecky, but the two Appalachian Americans,
Yeah.
that's the term, have them captured. She first the girlfriend gives the leg back to her. Like, why would you give the leg back to her? Like it,
Yeah.
you had a full advantage, lady, and you lost it. And then
Yep.
she manages to make a fully functioning firearm with laser pointer in the workshop of a skating rink. Like
Yeah.
you can
Like, you don't think that's possible?
oh, can you do that? I didn't know. I had no
Yeah.
idea.
You want to see? I'll do it right now.
Do it right now. Selling the ads, click. But anyway, that was actually the most unrealistic part of that. But for the most part, like the story is Kingpin trying to get her back to join him, which again, it was very strange how uh, like obsessed is a weird word, but like how concerned about her he was. I don't know. It was very strange. And she poured out that whole bottle of wine. I was like, no, make him just drink it first. What are you doing?
Right?
Stupid. But it's very strange how that dynamic kind of went about and how like almost desperate he was to the point where they were going to kill everyone at the powwow.
Yeah.
I just really also wanted to say showdown at the powwow.
Yeah.
Yep. But it all comes to a head at this powwow. Maya gets her new costume, which costume was pretty cool. I did like the costume. I'm not too familiar with Echo in the comics and like what kind of costume she sports, but I think that this costume worked perfectly for the show.
Yeah.
We're still very confused about how she suddenly got powers.
Yeah. Well, I think it's passed down from generation to generation because we saw in a flashback her, I think it was the grandma had the same powers
Well, her
because
mom was able to heal a woodpecker that she shot as a child.
was it the mom? Oh, okay. See, I thought
Yeah.
that was the grandma that did that, but
Yeah,
um,
which was also a little like, hey, what are you doing killing small animals? You
yeah,
monster. But
yeah. Which I know mom does yell, quote unquote, yell at her for that, but
I,
yeah. So I'm assuming it's just something because we saw in the original flashbacks, you had, I don't know if we ever got the name of the ancestor or whatever that got the power in the cave.
I don't know if we got that far back. I know we had
Yeah.
Tuklo was the one who wanted to be a light horseman. Uh,
Yep.
and then let's see. We have Loak, who was the one that was playing in the stickball game, which was a lot. For some reason I really liked the stickball game. I was like,
Yeah.
I guess I thought it was lacrosse, but maybe it's just like an earlier version. But
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever get like the Chafa.
Yes.
Yes, Chafa is the name of the first Choctaw. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Who
Yeah.
she becomes a human after coming out of the earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we never get like a full explanation about the powers, but yes, that they're just passed through generations. So I don't think it's like she's a mutant or anything like that. I think maybe it was just purely like, hey, you get these powers to save your people. Otherwise, you don't
Yeah.
have. So, which I'm fine with. We have different styles of power. I think a little bit more like tribal, like magical type power. I actually prefer it at this point. We don't need
Yeah.
an actual explanation.
No.
But yeah, the show ends with Maya. She defeats Fist Men, and let's see. Maya takes Fist to the memory of his father beating his mother in an effort to heal his trauma and help him let go of his anger. Yeah, and he was more mad about it.
Yeah.
That was a tough scene though, because I I didn't want to spoil it for Melanie who was watching, but I was like, because he takes out the hammer, and
Yeah.
the hammer's in. I think also he gives it as a gift to Maya at one point.
Yep.
But yeah, she didn't know that like Fisk was abused as a child and all that stuff. So it'll be curious when we finally get to it and we get to the whole "when I was a boy" story
Yeah.
scene. Oh God, 'cause I kept saying that to her. She was like, "What are you saying?" I was like, "You got to watch Daredevil. You just got to
Yeah.
watch it." But let's Star City rating for this guy. What do you think?
All right. I'm kind of torn. I think I'm gonna go a 3 on this. Slightly
Okay,
above average. And I think the thing that's saving it for me is the fight scenes and biscuits.
that's fair.
And by that, obviously, I mean the character, not the food, even though the biscuits are delicious. Uh,
Biscuits.
but yeah, I would say it's a solid 3. The fight scenes are there, the storytelling is there. I think what's hurting it is Kingpin not being more
Involved. Yeah.
Kingpin-ish. But again, like I kind of understand knowing like spotlight means this is just a focus on the main character and their
Right.
story, because again, it's almost like a origin story in a way
Mhm.
for X because like I said earlier, she's like a C-list character. You can't even say she's B.
Oh yeah,
C,
yeah.
maybe eventually she becomes a B or maybe an A, depending on popularity, um, and where her story goes. So, like, I kind of understand why you don't want to have too much Kingpin in it or too much Daredevil in it as well. But yeah, just above average. Nothing like I would necessarily change, just other than, maybe extending it so we can get other people to come into it.
Yeah, I would have been okay with it. I'm gonna give it a 3 also. I think it was well above average. It was better than I expected it to be. Everybody kind of thought it was gonna be a dud just because they were doing a full episode release, which
Yeah.
Disney Plus has not done that. That was their first time releasing every episode at once. So everybody was kind of like, oh, they're just getting rid of it, like blah blah blah. It was better than I thought it was gonna be, and we enjoyed watching it. And it went quick. It was a nice little miniseries. I think Marvel does better with their smaller stuff sometimes, especially the character driven stuff. Werewolf by Night is a perfect example that it was great as a TV movie. I would love to see more of this character in some capacity, especially if Wilson Fisk is running for mayor. I could see her making an appearance in
Yeah.
Daredevil. It would make sense. And I would love to see, like, the whole point is getting all the street level heroes together to defeat Kingpin at some point.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fan Feedback Friday, this week, who is the ultimate street level superhero?
Me.
We got some good answers. I actually really dug this. All right, we have the Punisher, we have Kick Ass, we have from our friend John who runs Hey Pal, What's New, and from Blind Bat 8719 himself. Actually, this is probably the ultimate answer. He goes Danny the Street. Damn it, that's pretty good. I'll give him that one. Let's see. We have Batman, Daredevil, Spawn, and Casey Jones.
Huh.
Yeah, this was really good. That was a fun Fan Feedback Friday.
Michelangelo.
What was that?
Michelangelo.
Michael? No, get out of here. Cut it out.
What?
Michelangelo's not the ultimate street level superhero.
Yes, he is.
You're,
He's the best. He's the best turtle.
wow. Oh, then be fighting words. Be careful. Be careful.
I'll stand by it, 100%. And
Mm.
that's just because if I was a turtle, that's the one I would be.
Of course that would be. You would be Michelangelo. Leonardo all day, man. Come on. Bebop and Rocksteady. No. Stephen Amell's Casey Jones. I'm going to be a detective. Oh dear
Yeah.
God. You
No.
you have failed this franchise, sir.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, if you guys want to participate in Fan Feedback Friday, it's super easy. Just go to our Facebook page every Friday between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have Fan Feedback Friday up, so make sure you guys participate. We have a lot of fun with it. We'll get a nice group conversations going. So make sure like the page while you're there. You can also find us on all of our social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Just type in the Multiverse Fancast or the Misfit Faction. Odds are you'll find some of our stuff. And when you do, make sure you like it, comment, subscribe. It really helps us out. Our YouTube channel finally got monetized, which has been a big thank you, big help from you guys, and a big thank you to all of you. So make sure you guys head it over there, and especially if you want to see our I was gonna say beautiful faces, but here we are.
Mediocre faces.
Our me to if we put it together, we might be handsome.
Yeah.
Just gonna combine the two videos into one. But that is gonna wrap us up. As always, I'm Paul,
I'm Ronnie.
and we'll be back in a flash.
See ya.